commissioner and the chairman of the board. I would like to invite Pastor Jim Kimbrell this morning to lead us in the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Our loving Heavenly Father, we are grateful that we can come together today to attend to the business of our county. We recognize, God, that because you exist and you created all that is, this meeting has great significance. God, we thank you for the men that are in front of me that have chosen to stand in the way of evil around us and promote the good among us. We pray, God, that you would direct them. We thank you for Sheriff Norton behind me, who keeps evil at bay inside our county and that which comes from outside. Watch over him, the men and women that serve under him. God, we pray for our other first responders who have experienced what we would never want to experience, but they take care of us and watch over us, and you watch over them. God, because you are sovereign, not everything it happens for a reason, but it happens for a purpose, and that is to bring you glory. So, God, we pray for our county, that it would be a shining light for your kingdom, that there be men and women who are on their knees today praying for your purposes in our county. God, I pray that we would be humble servants of yours. And in this room, we would care for one another and care most particularly for our neighbor. So God, help us in this. We pray, God, your blessing on these men and women who serve us in our county. And that blessing would be your presence every single day. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. It's February the 26th of 2025, and I'm calling this regular meeting of the Board of County Commissioners to order, and the time now is 9:04 a.m. And can we get a roll call, please?
Commissioner Buck?
Here.
Commissioner Schroeder?
Here.
Commissioner McDaniel?
Here. Right. First item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda. So I'm asking for a motion to approve it.
I make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is the consent agenda.
Mr. Chair, I move we approve the consent agenda as presented.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is the elected officials and department heads staff reports. And Commissioner Schroeder, I'll let you make your comments, sir. Give us an update.
Mr. Chair, I appreciate that. As I did a couple last meeting, give an update on some of the bills that are at our state legislature that the Colorado commissioners have taken positions on or comments on as we've gone through. Once again, there's dozens and dozens of bills that we went through last Friday. I'll just pull out a few of them to discuss that have direct impact with the county and county operations, and kind of go through some of their things. First thing before I jump into that though, I just want to let everybody know that myself and Clerk and Recorder Rhonda Baran attended Rock and Belt House District 56 ex-member Rod Bockenfeld's funeral on Monday. Rod was diagnosed with brain cancer a little over a year ago and has passed away. And so we went to that funeral, and immediately after that, we went downtown to testify for our very own Chris Richardson's bill, House Bill 1089, which was to require bipartisan teams at the first tier of signature verification. seems to be a pretty no-nonsense, pretty common sense approach, that the first tier, that when a ballot comes in for that signature verification, that there's a bipartisan team that verify that. Currently, it is required that just one person does that. There was only one person speaking in opposition to the bill. It was a clerk from Jefferson County. There was about 7 or 8 of us that were in favor of the bill. It was a bipartisan sponsored bill. Chris has another Democrat House member that was with him on that. And it went down in committee 6-5. And so how we can justify saying we just want one person looking at the signatures, I don't know. But that is just a sampling of some of the activity that we're involved with at the state level. As far as the last week's steering committee meetings, as I said, we had dozens and dozens of bills that we looked at. One in particular was from the Health and Human Services side, and I just want to point out that we have a great director in Darcy Boulding and her staff. I met with Darcy and Brandy Snelling early last week for over an hour for them to get me up to date on the bills that we were going to be discussing. A lot of detail there, and to be able to be conversant in those bills, I felt was important. They were gracious with their time and explaining their position on these various bills. One in particular I want to highlight was House Bill 1159, Child Support Commission recommendations. And as we went through, I found out that Brandy Snelling was actually on this commission recommending these changes, and it's going to help to smooth out and even child support payments. And right now there's a cliff. If so many overnight stays with one parent hits 92, 93 nights, there's a cliff drop as far as child support, and this is going to help alleviate that. But I just wanted to highlight that we do have staff involved at the state level being appointed to commissions that make a difference. And so I commend those two ladies on that. We had an extensive conversation at CCI in this bill, and we did take a support position on that bill. Just as a reminder for everybody that doesn't remember from last time or is new, it takes 65% at our CCI meetings for the commissioners to actually take a position on the bill. One that we did take a vote on and failed to support at 60% was the constitutional carry of handguns. This has been a priority across the state in many conservative areas to put a constitutional carry on the books, and while 60% of our counties were in favor of this, it did fail in our committee. Also, House Bill 25-1209, marijuana regulation streamline. As commissioners, we did vote to oppose this bill. One of the things that this bill would do would increase purchase limits for retail marijuana from 1 to 2 ounces. And there was a variety of other things that this attempted to streamline, but the commissioners felt that this was not appropriate. One of those that argued in favor of this said, well, if they can buy 2 ounces instead of 1, it'll decrease congestion on the roads. So I guess when you're looking for reasons, it doesn't matter what you come up with. There was another, as far as particularly in what we're talking about with land use within our county, House Bill 25-1219. There's titled Requirements for Better Understanding in Metropolitan Districts, would require transparency for metro districts, notification about meetings and so forth. That will be something we'll continue to watch. The commissioners took a monitor position on that one. Again, if it seems like a bill is sponsored by Republicans that doesn't have much chance, even if they're common sense ones. Senate Bill 25-156, reducing costs of state regulation. There's a whole line of consolidations that could take place at the state to help with reducing regulations. This failed at the county commissioner level with a 62% vote. We fell back to a monitor position. Hopefully we'll be able to make some amendments to that to make that one a little more palatable. I talked about the child support one already. The big one that is out right now talking, Senate Bill 25003, semi-auto bill, pretty much banning any semi-autos with a detachable magazine or gas-operated mechanism. We understand that was going to have an amendment to it to take it away where they weren't completely banned, but was going to put a whole lot of administration costs and requirements on our law enforcement. And as we went through that, CCI is now opposed to this position. I know Teller County had done some evaluation of this bill with the amendments, with all the administrative costs. They estimated it would take 4 more admin people and 3 more deputies to administer what was being proposed in the amendment. And if the sheriff would like to comment on that one, I'm sure he's aware of this bill, but it would certainly put a burden on local law enforcement and for law-abiding citizens in being able to obtain these legally owned firearms. It probably doesn't have a chance to survive scrutiny of the Second Amendment, but with our legislature, it may pass. House Bill 251198. Regional Planning Roundtable Commission. This again, as I mentioned last time, the state legislature seems to want to be more and more involved in local land use planning, getting away from local control. This was a long discussion with this bill, with a regional planning roundtable. Many of the commissioners felt that this was kind of the camel with the nose under the tent, and was afraid that this would continue to expand to where it was not just a suggestion but a requirement for regional planning, and therefore we as CCI, as commissioners, we voted to oppose such bill. House Bill 251199, which our Treasurer Shirley Hughes spoke to last time, and gave me a lot of great information, a lot of ammunition to take to the steering committees. Basically, this was going to have 4 different payments for property tax to be paid throughout the year. And Sherry did a great job outlining last meeting what all the different problems that could occur through that. And it's obvious that the Treasurers Association had been talking to all their commissioners because everybody had the same idea. And so as a CCI, we are in an official oppose position on that for that to continue as the same. And the last one that I'll bring up today is House Bill 251230, changes in violation driver overtaking school bus, which we definitely don't want to put our children in danger. What this bill would do would put cameras on buses that would automatically record, take pictures of people who ran the stop signs on buses and that sort of thing. There was a lot of questions, myself included, and some others, about some more details of this. How long is it maintained? What's going to exactly be used with this detail? Some different civil liberties questions about that. And as that discussion came up, it kind of shows you the political spectrum is not linear, it's circular. And the Boulder Commissioner and myself had a lot in common about some of the concerns about civil liberties, and she put forth that she was interested in perhaps having a roundtable within the commissioners to talk about cameras such as this. And so we took an official monitor position on this bill until we know some more details of where it's at. But that's just a sampling, Mr. Chair, of some of the things that we discussed the last Thursday and Friday at CCI, and thought it would be interesting to the citizens.
Well, thank you, Commissioner Schroeder. Are there any other elected officials who would like to give an update today? Okay, seeing none, I'll ask if there are any department heads or staff members who would like to give updates today.
Morning, Commissioners. My
Morning.
name is Aaron Bourne. I am the Director of Emergency Management for Elbert County. I know I'm speaking later regarding debris management, but I'd like to provide a couple of updates to the board, general public, and our community as a whole. I'm pleased to provide the following updates on the ongoing efforts and accomplishments from Elbert County Emergency Management. We have successfully achieved full approval and compliance with the Integrated Public Alert and Warning System called IPAWS to enhance our alert and warning capabilities in Elbert County. This federally integrated system allows us to send emergency notifications via radio, television, and mobile devices, ensuring critical information reaches residents swiftly and effectively. By integrating IPAWS with our regional dispatch center, we now have a more robust and comprehensive public warning system, further strengthening our ability to respond to emergencies and keeping the community informed. Maintaining compliance with federal and state requirements ensures that our alert and warning tools remain reliable, accessible, and effective. Regarding mass care and our sheltering program overhaul, in a partnership with the American Red Cross, we have successfully recertified all emergency shelters within Elbert County. This ensures that our designated shelters are prepared, resourced, and ready to support residents during disasters. Furthermore, we are currently overhauling our mass care program to make comprehensive improvements to how we coordinate sheltering, feeding, and disaster assistance. To further strengthen our emergency response, we have entered into a memorandum of understanding with the American Red Cross, which provides Elbert County with volunteer coordination support to enhance disaster response staffing, training opportunities for Elbert County stakeholders to improve shelter management and mass care response, and crowdfunding assistance to collect and distribute charitable donations during disasters to ensure that the community aid is effectively allocated at the discretion of the county leadership. This collaboration represents a major step forward in our ability to provide sustainable, efficient mass care services to our residents during emergencies. I'd like to give an update regarding the Agate Bridge. We are pleased to announce that Elbert County has been awarded $425,000, 64 cents. Not sure what the 64 cents is there, but this is to do the rebuild of the Agate Bridge, a critical infrastructure project that was not previously covered under the Disaster Recovery 4731. This funding will restore safe and reliable access to the affected area, benefiting both local and resident and emergency responders. There is some cost share that the county does have. It's about 12.5%. I have those exact numbers for you that I can provide. I have been given the final numbers of the U.S. Small Business Association rural declaration. So from these reports, this was an opportunity for an individual assistance program. So businesses that were affected in Elbert County that classified under the rural declaration. So in Elbert County specifically, there are multiple counties that fell under this direct declaration. For homes, we had 9 full applicants. Businesses, we had 2 applicants. And then economic injury, which falls under a specific category, were only 4. For the homes, the distributed amount was $315,800, which is a direct assistance to these homeowners that weren't provided individual assistance under FEMA. So this gives them an opportunity to rebuild their homes. If they had anything that happened to them directly, they're able to fix. Businesses were also allocated $31,700, and I'll provide these to the recorder so you can have these information and all this. That was a big step forward in providing direct and individual assistance that wasn't fallen under in the disaster recovery. We have an upcoming event called Mulch Madness. So in April 2025, we'll be hosting Mulch Madness. So it's a partnership with Mountain View Electric Association. This event will allow citizens to shred their mulch and their organic debris at no cost, helping to reduce wildfire risks while promoting sustainable land management practices. In addition, we'll be distributing wildfire mitigation information and serving hot chocolate to all attendees. More details will be shared as we finalize the event logistics and policies with the county manager and the fellow department heads that are part of that project. My closing remarks for this department updates. These achievements would not have been possible without the leadership and support of the Honorable Board of County Commissioners, the County Manager, and the County Attorney. Their dedication to emergency preparedness, infrastructure resilience, and community safety has been instrumental in advancing these critical initiatives. Thank you for your continued commitment to making Elbert County a safer and more prepared community.
Thank you. Are there any other department heads or staff members to give any updates? Okay, seeing none, we'll move into public comments. Public comments are welcome as long as they're not related to any items on the agenda. Also would ask if you have a comment that you state your name and address for the record. Are there any public comments? Yes, ma'am.
Sunny Mills, 27310 Forest Ridge Drive, Kiowa, Colorado. I have a couple of concerns, and I'll see if I can address them in 3 minutes. First of all, there was a woman in Idaho, and you heard about Idaho last time, that was grabbed out of a town hall, and zip ties were put on her for speaking out loud during a town hall. It was done by Lear Security Company, and they just lost their business license, and they are being sued for what they did. Our new administration at the federal level wants to hire companies like Blackwater, who are security companies, to take over ICE's role as contractors. We have some experience with Blackwater in Iraq. As U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, we had to work very hard at making sure that we got the local cooperation of everyone, so we didn't get IUDs and things planted on our way in for any construction project. Plus, we hired contractors from Turkey and the Middle East and some Afghan contractors. And the thing is, we had to make sure that everybody was happy about what we were doing, just like any construction project. Blackwater would come in, we would work on this during the planning period, and we would make sure we brought soccer balls in for the kids and that everybody was happy. Blackwater would come in and they would rough everybody up. They thought that being angry and nasty was a good idea, and it would ruin it. In fact, we had a good friend, Mr. Wolf, who was killed in an IUD afterwards. So I'm afraid that we have had reported to us in our capacity as representing the Democrat Party in Elbert, that there are militia that are practicing on some of the ranches around here. And we believe that our sheriffs need a living wage, that they should not be discounted, and there should be no contractors hired in their place or any militia used in the county of Elbert. And I just want to double check that no one's thinking about that. Number 2, XL Power Pathway. There was an article in the Colorado Sun, February 18th, and I published it in Elbert County Democrats on Facebook. There was a 9,000-acre fire that occurred from one of the corridors that they're putting in from eastern Colorado through to New Mexico.
Commissioners, that's 3 minutes. Our
corridor will go all the way into Houston. And so read that. Okay. And then there would be one other thing. 85,000 Colorado children
Can you wrap this up really quick, because we're on you're
okay,
over the 3
85,000 Colorado children are on Medicaid in rural areas in Colorado. We don't have a health department head, do we? So I am curious how many children will lose their Medicaid. Bobart voted for a great reduction in Medicaid, and I know the state is having trouble coming up with funds. So I'm worried about our children, having been a retired teacher. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, any other public comments? Sir. Good morning.
Morning. I'm going to put my timer here so I don't go over. My name is Greg Lopez. I live at 36792 View Ridge Drive. I've been a resident of Elbert County for over 25 years. I want to come today and kind of remind you, commissioners, and I want to thank you, first of all, for stepping up and taking care of our county. However, the future of our county is in your hands. Everything you do, every decision you make is going to impact the quality of life of every resident here in Elbert County. And so I wanted to share with you that as I look at what's going on in Elbert County, it reminds me of the time when I was mayor of Parker. As you know, I was a mayor of Parker, but I was a strong mayor. A lot of people don't understand what that means. As a strong mayor, not only was I the mayor, but I was also the city manager. So all the department heads reported directly to me. I had to sit on every single commission because the town charter required me to sit on the commissions. So I sat on the Planning Commission, I sat on the Parks Commission, I sat on the Cultural Commission, I sat on every economic development group that was impacting the town of Parker. I'm here to tell you that as I see the growth, in Elbert County, the secret's gotten out. We know that the secret about Elbert County has gotten out because we're seeing more and more growth coming in this direction. Now, I'm here to tell you that growth may be a good idea, but it has to be managed growth. One of the things that I had to do as mayor of Parker and the city manager is I put a moratorium. I put a moratorium of 6 months on no development, no building in the town in order for us to be able to make sure that we were doing it correctly. And I'm here to tell you, my staff, my attorney, they're like, I don't know that we should do this. I don't know that this is something that the developers are going to like. And I told them I really don't care what the developers want or what they don't want. I'm here to preserve the future of Parker. Now, I inherited a community that had 100,000 zoning approvals already in place. So I couldn't necessarily stop growth, but I could manage it. And after we reviewed all of our policies, all of our setbacks, all of the park dedications, all of the school dedications, I can tell you that I was able to reduce the density. They were building 7 units to the acre. We were able to bring it down to 4.5 units to the acre. And you and I both know that every time there's a house built, it has a huge impact on your services, has a huge impact on the sheriff's department, has a huge impact on your public works, because they like to tell you that, hey, we're going to take care of the roads for 2 years, right? That's the warranty period. But after the 2 years, Getsu has to maintain it. Not only the county, but you have to maintain the sidewalks. There's a lot of impacts. So what I would tell you is, if you want to do a moratorium, if you want to slow down growth, if you want to have a discussion of what the tools that I used, that I believe are still available to you to make sure that you preserve the county of Elbert and make sure that we all live a great quality of life, I offer that to you at any point in time, whether it's a private meeting, whether it's a public meeting, really doesn't matter to me. But I will share with you my experience, and I can share with you how you might be able to manage growth here in Elbert County. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other public comments? Hi.
Hi, good morning, Commissioners. Carrie Giblets, 19656 Wiedemeyer Road, Kiowa. I'm on the board of Elbert County Environmental Alliance. I just wanted to give you an update on the Excel Power Pathway proceedings as they pertain to landowners. Excel has sent out one more final offer to landowners. This time the offer amount is decreased from what it has been. So just thought you should be aware of that. And I'm also curious if Excel has resubmitted their application to the county. So thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? All right, seeing none, we will move on with the agenda to discussion items. And first up, we have OEM Director Aaron Bull.
Busy day for me.
Yes, sir.
I did forget to mention one thing in our department updates. We did have our annual Colorado Emergency Managers Association conference. It's an annual conference held every year. And myself and my team were awarded Emergency Manager of the Year for our region. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I just wanted to say that it's not just a testament to the work that myself have been doing, but my entire team, the county leadership, and the county as a whole. So in my opinion, it's an award for the county as well as myself. So
Great job.
thank you. All right, debris management, everyone's favorite. Dear Honorable Board of County Commissioners, County Administrator, and County Attorney, I'm pleased to submit the final draft of the Elbert County Debris Management Plan for your formal review and consideration for adoption. This comprehensive plan serves as a critical component of our emergency management framework, ensuring Elbert County is well prepared to manage debris in a strategic, efficient, and environmentally responsible manner during both routine operations and emergency response efforts. The debris management plan provides a structured approach to efficient debris removal and disposal of following disasters disasters to ensure public safety and rapid response. Coordination with local, state, and federal agencies to leverage resources and maximize operational effectiveness. Compliance with FEMA and other regulatory guidelines such as EPA to ensure potential reimbursement eligibility for disaster-related debris removal. Environmentally sustainable measures to mitigate long-term impacts and promote responsible disposal and reuse of practices. We would like to ask in this plan and consideration to support these operations, we respectfully request a formal designation of the following primary and alternative debris sites. For the primary sites, we would like you to consider the Elbert County Fairgrounds, the Fondas Pit, the 166 yard, the 166/21 yard, the Elbert County Road and Bridge yard, and as for alternative or tertiary sites these do require intergovernmental agreements, the Simla Brush Pile, and the Town of Elizabeth Public Works Yard. The exact locations and further details regarding the site usage, management, and logistics are outlined in the plan for your reference. These sites were selected based on strategic accessibility, operational feasibility, and their ability to support countywide debris removal efforts. For the next steps, we welcome your feedback and are open to making refinements to ensure this plan aligns with the county's strategic goals and operational needs. Adoption of this plan will provide a clear framework for managing debris-related challenges and will ensure our overall disaster resilience and recovery capabilities. I would like to make some acknowledgments, take this opportunity to express my sincere gratitude to everyone who contributed to this development of this plan. It has been an inspiring effort shaped by collaborative input from multiple county departments, emergency management professionals, and key stakeholders. A special note of appreciation goes to Sarah Clausen, our now from the Office of Emergency Management, whose leadership and expertise and dedication were instrumental in bringing this project to completion. In conclusion, thank you for your time and support and partnership in advancing the crucial initiative. Please let us know if additional information or clarification is needed during the review process. We look forward to working together to ensure the successful implementation of the Elbert County Debris Management Plan and strengthening our county's preparedness and response capabilities. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Commissioners, do you have any discussion or comments?
Just good job on the award. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, sir.
Right, are there any public comments? Seeing none, we will move on. Hey, you kept that less than 10 minutes, I was told, so you did a good job. All right, next item on the agenda is the action items, consideration of February 12th, 25 minutes. So I ask for a motion.
I make a motion that we approve the February 12th, 2025 minutes and dispense with the reading.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next item is consideration of approval of the Elbert County Invocation Policy Update. And Attorney Mark Greer.
Mark Greer, County Attorney. This is something that we have had an invocation policy in place for quite some time. It's something that we have taken a look at periodically to make sure that whatever case laws come down. We've taken a look at that and make sure we're in compliance with that. It's also something where there is going to be, minor changes here and there as there are new administrations that come in. One of the changes that we've looked at for this particular year is the ability to have a chaplain that may be appointed as part of that policy. And so that's something that is within the draft of that policy. It makes that a possibility. It does not make that a requirement. But that change has been made and it's there for review and potential adoption. I'm happy to answer any questions from the board if there are any.
Commissioners, do you have any questions, sir?
No, this just follows along some of the discussions we've had with the minor changes, so it's basically intact. It's mostly adding the opportunity for a chaplain.
Yeah, that's really about the only change that's been made, is making for that possibility. Again, not a requirement. It just opens up that possibility. So that's for your consideration.
All right. Are there any public comments?
I've had a lot of interaction with chaplains over the years, and I've met some fabulous chaplains. I'm wearing purple today because our Pope is having trouble, and it reminds me to pray as often as I can. I've had Jewish friends. My dad saved a Jewish friend from a POW camp. Escaped. I don't think we need to focus on just one religion. I think that we need to represent our community and lots of people. And the chaplains I appreciated most were the ones who did that. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comments? Okay, I'm going to ask for a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the amended Elbert County invocation policy as presented.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. All right, before we go forward, I want to back up just a minute if I can to discussion items. I jumped the gun here a little bit by moving into action items. Regarding our OEM director's comments and discussion request, I would like to see if we could put this item on the next agenda for approval. Right? And there's no motion needed for that. So, thank you. Thank you. All right. All right, next item on the agenda is going to be consideration of approval of the Elbert County Commissioners Meeting Policy Update, and I'll turn this over to Attorney Greer.
Thank you. Again, as we come into a new year and some additional board members, this is one of those policies that we've had in place for a while. A lot of housekeeping items. It really provides direction for the board themselves on how they want to conduct a meeting. And one of those things that has been considered is to expand the public comment time from a total of 3 to 5 minutes. That is something that I have implemented, or at least put into this draft. So that is for consideration of the board. Everything else is essentially housekeeping. For example, one of the items is, if you want public comment to be submitted with regard to a certain item, it needs to be available in order to be concluded with the packet that is published for the next meeting. And so there's a deadline for that. That's clearly stated. If people are unable to meet that, then they can certainly show up and speak about anything that they maybe weren't able to get in timely as far as a written comment or something like that. There's really not that many additional changes other than that particular 5-minute potential. And so if that is something that the board is comfortable with, I would recommend approving that particular policy with that change.
Thank you. Is there any discussion or comments from commissioners?
I'd like to make a comment. As a board, we're here to represent the citizens. And if someone has taken time out of their day to attend this meeting, I feel in a lot of instances, 3 minutes is not long enough. We just saw a gentleman come in before us and have to set his timer and was rushed through a brief presentation. So I fully support this change. If 10 people came in and spoke for an extra 2 minutes, that's 20 minutes out of our day. I have 20 minutes, and I think the rest of the board has an extra 20 minutes for the citizens of this county. And keep in mind that once a formal application is submitted, we cannot speak to the citizens in regards to an active application. So their opportunities are limited to get in front of this board and speak what's on their mind. I fully support that change, and I'm excited to see it implemented. Thank you.
And I'll just comment to that, as we saw here, 3 minutes, you don't really get, by the time you get your name and address stated and get your thoughts collected, you're running, half that time's gone. So yeah, I support that as well. And I think we're all in support of that. But are there any public comments before we ask for a motion? All right, seeing none, I'll ask for a motion to approve.
I make a motion to approve the Elbert County Commissioners meeting policy updates as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next item is executive session.
Mr. Chair, I hereby move that the Elbert County Board of County Commissioners go into executive session with the county attorney pursuant to Colorado Revised Statute 24-6-4024B, to conference with the county council to receive legal advice on specific legal questions or issues, and to discuss legal matters or determining positions or strategy relative to matters that may be subject to negotiations, developing strategy for negotiations, and instructing negotiators pursuant to CRS 24-6-4024E of the Colorado Revised Statutes. Specifically, I move that the Board of County Commissioners go into an executive session to discuss legal advice related to litigation pending in Elbert County District Court between the Elbert County Board of County Commissioners and the Elbert County Sheriff's Office, case number 2024-CV30091.
Is there a motion? And is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All right, we will clear the room and go into executive session at this time.